If you're... Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here? Oh, a prospective initiate. The Knight Shin sent you. And I guess we're both in luck. Paladin Romani makes the call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it? Didn't even have to think about it, did you? Let me give you a quick rundown of the mission before we start. Our new base is littered with old technology, but there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup. Any questions before we start? Great! Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here. Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit.
I have my eye on you.
Protect and serve.
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Are you trying to get on my good side? Because that's how you get on my good side. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. This looks like what we need. Here's one. I think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. That's a mature attitude to take. I really appreciate that. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. I did ask you to help, after all. It's only fair you're prepared for what you might find. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Interesting. Looks like we've got company. I wish we had the people to get this stuff up and running again. That does it for the inspection. Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went... Well, what was your assessment? It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well, so far. Nobody does, outside of a classroom. That's why I love to evaluate new prospects this way. If I'm going to recommend you to Paladin Romani, I need to know you're serious. Can you pay attention? Think on your feet? If you can, you are in my favor. If you can't, then, well, maybe I reconsider my recommendation. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. Thought of one. Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core? What's that? doesn't sound good.
This is going to cost you a lot more than me.
Suffer harm up to and including death if you remain in the area. This notice required by law. Do not be alarmed. Order will be restored soon. Please stand by.
I calculate your chance of success to be. I don't want to be morbid.
Glad that's over with.
I really hope you bring this up to date.
Whew. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? This is... Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help, and good luck with the Paladin.
Oh, hello. A lovely new face. How good to see you. I'm Betty. How can I make your day better? I'm Betty. I run this little shop. My papa used to call me Missy since all I brought was misfortune. Maybe he was right, but I prefer Betty. Or maybe Sunny, seeing as I don't bring nothing but sunshine now. But Betty is fine. We can stick with Betty, sweetheart. Death. Or at least, that's what Papa said. Mama didn't make it when she had me. It weren't my fault. I would never have taken her if it were my choice. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to bring the mood down. Let's turn that pound upside down. How else can I help you today? Oh, I sell all the most wonderful items. All the stuff that makes your eyes glow with joy. Feel free to have a browse through my selection, and let me know if you need any help. Oh, not long at all. I'm actually a local. As local as you can get, really. I was born over at the Belching Betty. But I've always dreamed of seeing the world. When I saw this carnival coming through, I knew I had to take my chance. That has been so nice to me. I'm determined to be the best employee they've ever had to pay back all the kindness. Everyone has been so welcoming. I love my new family. I can't wait to get to know Pete better, too. He seems so sweet. He always has the funniest stories about creatures in the area. Oh, like naked mushroom guinea pigs that would walk up to him on 2 legs and tell him about their kind. Or flying death claws wearing gas masks. Or that monster that is holding the roller coaster set up. You should go ask him. He's pretty creative. Anyhow, would you like to buy something? Oh, I sell all the most wonderful items. All the stuff that makes your eyes glow with joy. Feel free to have a browse through my selection, and let me know if you need any help. Oh, you are so sweet. Here's a smile just for you. Bye now.
Show's an intermission. I'm off the clock. What you need? The name's Gunther. I run the Wild West Showdown as its host and commentator. Been traveling with the folk here since the beginning. Was lucky enough to survive the Armageddon, but not lucky enough to keep my skin. We travel where we can, bringing laughter and joy along the way. It's a good enough living in this new world, I suppose. Suppose I could spare a minute. What you want to know? A few different ways, but the easiest is by sticking up one of these townsfolk. The, cutouts, I mean. They'll dispense some buckaroos right quick. You'll know they're ready for looting again when the little light turns on. Drop off your ill-gotten gains at the wagon. Anything left in your pockets don't count for nothing. If the law catches wind of you, and they will, be sure to protect your getaway wagon. Lose old Nellie, and it's game over, partner. Well, the deputies and bounty hunters got nerves of steel. And bodies of steel. Did I mention they're robots? Besides them is the varmints. Tinkered with a few of those tin can fellers. Took a spell to get through all that commie code, I tells you. Finally, there's a good old Sheriff McGuffin. Stocky feller on account of being a sentry bot and all. He's a bit smarter than your average bot. If he catches wind of your getaway wagon, well, he'll give it hell if you don't stop him first. Well, we have a range of fancy goodies in the store for you. They're a mix of fancy Nuka-Cola goodies, including some Western attire and even some fine, rare firearms. However, you'll have to play to find out what those are, you hear? Yep, they're, what you might call, guest stars, I suppose. None other than Cappy the Kid and Buffalo Bottle. They're laying low in town from the law. Rescue them, and you'll bolster your score. Rumor has it there's a special kind of golden varmint running about as well. Take the slippery sucker out for a score boost. If you change your tune, happy to explain more later. Depends what you mean by that. What you thinking? I like the cut of your jib, kid, but I don't have any spare ammo. But hell, take this. Better than ammo, and will help with the looting. Just you wait and see.